the jump that changed the course of humanity. In 2271, after 10 years investigating the space anomaly in Sol system known as the Niso Triangle, scientist and explorer Nick Croshaw became the first known human to traverse a jump point and enter a new star system. As a tribute to his monumental accomplishment, the system he discovered would come to bear his name. The aftermath was a different matter. While humans had figured out how to reach the stars, they were still struggling with how to inhabit them. It was a contentious 100 years between Croshaw's discovery and when a planet in the system was terraformed. Lacking an organisation to oversee expansion into the system created a plethora of issues. At first, a number of private and state-owned terraforming companies raced into Croshaw to lay claim to its planets. None of them succeeded. Each company had failed to calculate exactly how expensive it would be to continually transport supplies to maintain their operations. It was obvious that a cohesive human response was needed, but instead of focusing on a solution, countries and corporations squabbled over how land rights and mineral resources should be divided once terraforming was complete. At the same time, there was still a good deal of fear and danger around intersystem travel. Many people who entered the jump point between Croshaw and Sol vanished. With jump drive technology still in its infancy, ships had to be manually piloted between the two systems. Out of this, a new breed of pilot was born. Nicknamed Jumpers, these pilots sold themselves as the only reliable way to get between the two systems and charged handsomely for their services. It was only after flight-assisted nav drives were able to utilise the recorded flight paths through the jump points that Jumpers changed their focus to discovering new jump points, making them the forefathers of the nav jumpers that still exist today. Amidst all the chaos and confusion, a committee appointed by the World Summit, a gathering of Earth's leaders, finally took control of expansion into the Croshaw system. The committee organised resources from various countries and companies to tackle the terraforming of Croshaw 2 and Croshaw 3, established a lottery to grant land and mineral rights once the process was complete, and most importantly, figured out how to pay for it all. The committee's masterstroke was the Freeman Act, a piece of legislation that helped fund the terraforming of Croshaw while also populating it through the sale of one-way tickets. Not only were people buying passage aboard government-subsidised shuttles, but they were also guaranteed a place to live on the new planet. Sales were slow at first. While the public had acclimated to the notion of living on another planet, the thought of living in a new system entirely proved to be a truly scary concept. Intensive marketing initiatives and first-hand accounts from the developing system eased their fears and gradually got the public excited at the prospect. The influx of ticket sales kept the committee's terraforming fund solvent and created an entire class of people who counted down the days until they could start a new life as humanity's first interstellar settlers. The committee's successful stewardship of Croshaw convinced humanity's leaders that a cohesive voice and vision was needed to aid our ascension out to the stars. In 2380, the World Summit ended with a historic announcement that created the United Nations of Earth. For the first time, we stopped thinking of ourselves as many and started seeing ourselves as one. Croshaw 1 is a smog planet known for its colourful yellow and orange clouds. What makes this tiny planet beautiful also makes it deadly, since the dense atmosphere is highly corrosive and toxic. Prospectors attempted to establish harvesters on the planet's surface in an effort to gain easy access to industrial-strength acids. However, the atmosphere proved too corrosive for even the most advanced technology at the time to effectively harvest. Angeli's natural beauty is as much of a marvel today as it was when it was first terraformed. The planet's biosphere is reminiscent of Earth's, featuring massive bodies of water and large expanses of land dotted by mountain ranges. It is the first planet settled by humans outside the Sol system. Angeli's natural beauty does not come without its dangers. Geologists continue to classify the planet as a severe seismic hazard. Strict engineering codes require buildings on the planet to have extremely thick foundations and tuned mass dampeners to counteract earthquakes. Even if most of the native population is apathetic about the big one, most scientists believe it is not a question of if a large earthquake will happen, but when. Due to this seismic instability, mining is severely restricted on Angeli. Connoisseurs of fine food and spirits consider Angeli a must-stop destination. The eclectic mix of Earth's cultures and classes during the planet's early days created a unique cuisine. Angeli's trademark dish is buombo, a thick stew usually featuring either meat or seafood. Considered a sign of true luxury, Angeli produces some of the Verse's most expensive whiskies. Distilled and barreled on Earth, they are then sent to Angeli to complete the aging process. Bottles of Angeli whiskey sold on Earth are stamped with a special round-trip label signifying its long journey. Aficionados claim that Angeli's light, temperature and air gives its whiskey a distinct and complex taste profile. Special facilities have been built just to store the barrels and best control their exposure to those elements. Varn is far from an ideal planet for human habitation. Located on the outer edge of Croshaw's habitable zone, the planet's Arctic temperatures make it less than optimal for human habitation. Yet, since mining was restricted on Angeli, terraforming Varn became essential to create a source of commodities in the system. As the Empire expanded, many residents left Varn for greener pastures. Geol City remains the planet's most populated city, though its most prosperous days are considered long past. All things considered, it still does brisk business as an affordable tourist destination for winter sport enthusiasts. Varn's night skies feature a stunning curtain of colourful aurora, the result of strong solar activity reacting with the planet's magnetosphere. Inspired by the phenomenon, a burgeoning artistic culture has made a name for itself on Varn. Many artists have set up studios in large, long-abandoned buildings. Some bought the real estate cheap, while others are simply squatting. This self-proclaimed Spart Varn style features a minimalist aesthetic and prominent use of colours displayed in the aurora. Planetary analysis indicates that Croshaw 4 is a super-Earth that lost its atmosphere. After most of its resources were exhausted, locals stopped using the planet's colloquial name and it subsequently faded from memory, a good indicator of exactly how much Croshaw 4 has left to offer. Soon after humans began to colonise Croshaw in the late 2200s, independent miners established themselves in the Icarus cluster and began to harvest its resources. It remains one of the oldest active mining fields. The Daedalus cluster shares an orbit with the Icarus cluster. Dense and initially resource-rich, the cluster has supported generations of miners in Croshaw since the late 2200s. Though not as productive as it once was, prospectors in the system are still able to locate and extract untapped veins of minerals.
Let me set you a riddle. You have a fox, a chicken, and a sack of corn, and you have to transport them from one side of the river to the other using a rowing boat. You can only carry one of these with you back and or forth. You can't leave the chicken and the fox together, that's mad, nor can the chicken be left with the grain, nor all three together without you. How do you do it? With nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Turn that bad boy on and just set your location to the other side of the river. Done. Not only do you have all your wares, but also you can get around regional content blocks, have your data encrypted for more security. It's easy to toggle on and off. It's non-invasive. It helps you with other riddles as well. If a sphinx is asking you, what goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? NordVPN, get it now from the links below. Every month we have a giveaway for a ship, and for March we are giving away an Argo raft with persistent hangars, freight elevators, and hauling missions coming with Alpha 3.23. What better way to experience that type of gameplay than with your own hauler? All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of our videos made during the month. A single comment per video counts, so get involved with watching all my videos for more chances to win. There's more details in the description. Also, I won't ask you to contact me on Telegram or anything like that. This is my only YouTube account I will use to talk in my comments as well. Occasionally there are scammers about. I don't want people to get tricked. A massive thank you to everyone that supports the channel, be that liking videos, commenting on them, sharing them. There are also people that go the extra mile. These are amazing people that become Patreons or use the join button under my YouTube videos to become channel members. You'll occasionally get some exclusive content, Discord roles, and behind the scenes posts. It's those people with those memberships that allow us to make the daily Star Citizen content that we do. So please consider joining those awesome folks as well. Thank you for watching until the very end. It is genuinely appreciated, and I hope you have a great March.